right. Greetings and welcome once again. Bad logistics. I'm out of breath. All praise be to the Creator. Welcome back to the conversation. My name is Anuna. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I don't know. YouTube seems to be doing something. You see some subscribers and you see people coming through, and then you see this. I don't know. It's been on a certain number for a while. So if you're here, let us just know you're here. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I put the thing up. I was going to go sit in the car and talk to you guys, right? Because some subject matter, I don't talk in front of the children because they be listening to everything. And then as soon as I press live, I looked down at my battery and that joint was like, no go. So I had to rearrange everything and get them settled. So this is not going to be very, very long, but it is in the same vein of the video I did the other week. The guy who was on the streets in Atlanta, he is, talking to people. I think the value in hearing their life story is important. And this one I heard, there's some I hear and I'm like, yo, I got to come and share this so we can have a conversation. So this one is a little more serious. The title said, married 22 years, caught having DL relations, and the person is now homeless. That was a crazy title right there. So we're gonna play it. And by the way, I got some copyright strikes for playing the 90-Day Fiance. So those videos I won't necessarily monetize, but I will share, what it is that I do. YouTube monetization, we know how that works. We've heard 100 million people talk about it, but I definitely would share what it is that I do in it. And if somebody's talking any kind of craziness, we're gonna have to put them in timeout for just a little second. Welcome to those who've just joined us. So I'm gonna share my screen. It's not a long video, but this is something that's going on in the community, in many communities. And when people say, oh, you got divorced, oh, this happened, that happened, they're not considering a lot of stuff that's going on. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm not gonna belabor this here point because it's been raining all day, and I've been out trying to get these syrups on the move. You understand? So, as a matter of fact, let me play a really short commercial. Like I said, I'm going to get better with the commercial business. Let me play a short commercial, set up everything, and then, okay, let me go. All right. All right, see, we're back. And if you went over to the Yummy Cottage, I see a few abandoned carts. I had a little snafu with the calculation of the shipping. I fixed it now. Everything should be up above board. So definitely, if you saw that and you was like, what? What I mean? Why is the shipping so crazy? I realized what I did wrong and I fixed it. So everything should be good. So let's go ahead and get into this video.
All right. So how you doing today, man? All right. What's your name, brother? Just your first name? Charles. All right, Charles. Nice to meet you. So we're out here in downtown Atlanta. We're at 275 Pryor Street, which is AKA the Gateway Center, which is where a lot of people who are homeless or who are in some type of transition in life come to get help and to kind of get back on their feet. So how old are you, Charles? All right. So 64 years old. And so
I have to stop along the way because I'm doing commentary. But when I saw Charles, I was like, oh, wow, the title doesn't look like, looks can be deceiving. But I'm like, Charles, somebody's granddad. What's going on, Charles? So let's listen.
Just summarize what has gotten you to this point in life where you're here at the Gateway Center.
I moved down here 3 years ago and got with the wrong group.
Okay, so pause. If Charles is 64 now, at 61 years old, and he was married for 22 years, Charles finds his way to Atlanta, and he's given the story of a teenager. He got with the wrong group of 61-year-olds. You know what I mean? But yes, this is the story. I'm just asking questions as he's talking, but this can happen at any age, essentially. So he gets with the wrong group.
And had acquired my housing and was making me homeless, and just been having a hard time getting back.
And so let me ask you this. So you say you came here. Where'd you come here from?
Ohio.
Okay, what part of Ohio? Toledo. Okay, Toledo in the house. So you came here from Ohio, and you were about 61 when you came here. And you say you came here, and so the drugs that you was messing with was it crack?
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But then,
so he's past midlife crisis. Something is happening to Charles that he has turned to drugs, right? So we're gonna hear, and this guy, he likes getting into. He be asking him like, "What's your drug of choice?" Like he be doing the most. I ain't even gonna front.
Okay, so he's messing with methamphetamines pretty hard, partying and doing all that stuff. And you say you was in a place, and what happened?
Wait, I like to do math. If Charles is 61, 20 years earlier, Charles would have been like late 30s, right? If that's up to the time that he got married. So late 30s, you should have been matured enough. You get married, something happens, and now you're in a totally different place doing the young boy thing.
Oh, a fire happened.
And then in the meantime, we been looking for more housing. Then I ended up lost my housing voucher. And,
did the fire happen because of the methamphetamines?
No.
So it's just a random fire. Oh, that's just bad luck.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what brought you to this point in life? Like, so tell me. I mean, you're a pretty tall guy. How tall are you? 6'4". Did you ever play sports?
Basketball.
Okay, and so when did you play basketball? Up to what level?
I played in went to college for 2 years.
Okay, so you played in college. Yeah. And so,
by the way, Charles had you see that little flick he got going on? That's that cigarette finger. He kind of hiding it a little bit from the camera. I don't know if y'all catch that. Yeah, I used to be I Spy back in the day. He got the little cigarette finger with the, you see, that's why I'm like, why he keep moving his hand behind his back? Yeah, Charles was smoking when the brother ran up on him for the interview.
When you were in college playing basketball, I imagine, you know, like most college campuses, you know, the athletes are kind of like, you know, some of the big guys on campus, right? Is that what your situation was as well? Okay. So,
and you can look at Charles' face and see he used to be handsome. You see Charles' face? You can see he's tall and everything, so he's leading up to something.
So you probably had a lot of women and different things like that? Okay. So let me ask you this. When you were there in college, did you ever picture yourself at this age here at this point in life? So tell me what went left.
And again, we watch these things, whatever it is, our decisions, like you said, who would have known that fire would have happened and it would have burnt you out of your house, and now you in the street, and now you homeless in a whole nother town. Like, you know, time and chance happens to us all, you know, so people may think they set and then things happen and it spirals out of control. And this, what unfortunately is what happened to him. But let's see if it's of his own doing.
Just me, just picking the wrong people happened in my life.
Okay, do you have any kids?
I have 3.
Okay, how old are they?
My oldest is 40 and the youngest is 35.
Okay, and did you have them all with the same woman?
Yes.
All right, were you married?
I'm married
22 years married.
Wait a minute, Charles, the math ain't mathing. If you married for 22 years and had the children with the same woman, and one child is 40 and the other child is 35, that would mean that you married this woman way after or before. The length of time is not adding up. It depends on how long ago she kicked you out, because the math is still not mathing on that, Charles. I don't know. Let me know, y'all. Am I doing too much? Let's see. Let's press play.
Okay, and so when did you get married? What age?
Okay, then he gave us the answer, 23, 24. So what happened to him happened before, because 22 years, 23, 24. So in his 40s is when something transpired.
23, 24 years old. And so you was married till about 45, 46. And so those 20.
I got to shout out to this guy. His mind works like my mind. Like, I need a picture, y'all. I not gotta keep stopping because this is his video and we doing commentary. So don't be crying in the comment section. Sending love to you guys. But let's go.
22 years. You guys had 3 kids. You raised kids. Were you working? Was she working as well?
We had businesses.
You guys had businesses? What kind of business?
My wife was a beautician, so we had a beauty salon and we had a beauty supply store.
Wow.
They was high value. They was high value. They was high value. They had stores. They had Soul Glow. They had the whole you know what I'm saying? What was it from the movie? They were doing their thing. Okay, 3 children, 2.5 dogs, and the Soul Glow Empire. Let's find out what happened.
Wow. Black-owned beauty supply store. See, now, as much as I talk about how we need to have black-owned beauty supply stores, here you are having that 20-something, 30-something years ago. And this was in Ohio? Wow. And so, oh man, worry about that big. And so tell me what happened. You know, why did you guys get divorced?
I was the streets moving around.
So you was kind of out in the streets doing your thing, philandering, and do you feel like you got married too?
Did he say philandering? Who else has an appreciation for interesting, funny sounding words? He said philandering. That's funny.
Young? You just feel like you just never kind of got that party guy out of you. Just still dibble dabble. And so, did she divorce you because of that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it after years of it, or was it just 1 or 2 incidents? Wow. She divorced you just for 1 or 2 incidents?
You see, when somebody tell a story with no details, it's like, dang, I tell you about these gold-digging, hypergamous women going to divorce Charles after 22 years of marriage, and then somebody going to run with this video, cut it right here at 4 minutes, 46 seconds, and have a whole 15-hour live stream about how women ain't no good. But wait, there's more.
So you guys had 3 kids?
Yeah.
Were they bad incidents?
Bad.
Well, tell me about them. I mean, the people want to know, like, what type of stuff?
Yeah, Charles, we want to know what happened with the little 2 incidents, Charles.
Would cause you to get divorced after 22 years?
I had an incident with a man.
I'm sorry. Did he? An incident? An entanglement, Mr. Charles? After he was reluctant to tell us why after 22 years he had to get the bootsy, let's go back. Let's just, you know, when he was loud and like what happened up until that point, but then he was like, I don't know.
Would cause you to get divorced after 22 years?
I had an incident with a man.
Okay. So did she catch you in the act, or she just heard about it, or?
If you're trying to make...
Dang. The brother with the interesting, I'm not going to talk about the hair rounding, but brother,
the real money online, you need to
focus
stop
on
with
Charles.
Amazon FBA, drop shipping.
See, this is why I don't usually like doing videos at night, because by nighttime, I be clowning. So my apology. Wait a minute. True Diamond said they sure will run with it without the whole story. They sure will. He could have told us that at the beginning. He could have told us that. Nah, he had to do the run-up. He couldn't have just jumped in there and told us that. You know what I mean? We had to understand the nature of Charles. I'm just saying. This is why you got to hear the whole thing. You got to hear the whole story. Because you may run with something and it's not the fullness.
She find out.
Well, there was rumors all over.
Them spreading rumors about me. They only trying to mess up her life. They were spreading rumors. Look at Charles looking real deep. Let me see if I can make this look at his face in this shot right here. This is before the brother got up on the camera real decent. But look at Charles' face looking guilty. Right there. When he said they were spreading rumors. Yeah, you did it, Charles.
Wow. So did the other guy tell? Is that what was going on?
Yeah, a lot of it, yeah.
And so was he openly gay and you were down low?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. And so let me ask you this. So after the divorce, did you live as a gay man, or did you still continue to live?
Yo, did she say like Pinky from Friday, Judah? Oh my goodness. So Charles the story just went, you know how you in one lane and somebody don't even put on their indicator and they just they crossed 5 lanes across the highway. That's what Charles just did. He was in one lane telling us his side story, and then he just cut across the whole highway. Yeah, he got the I can't deny it. I can't deny it.
Okay. And so, is it that lifestyle that kind of brought you here to where you're at? To kind of constantly kind of getting high and partying and okay. Man, that's an interesting story, man. That's
very interesting. So our choices, ultimately, blessing and curses before you this day, you choose. And our choices leads us to reality. So like I was saying the other time, sometimes we may see people, we don't know the story. This is why I can appreciate what he's doing, to understand whether or not it was, quote, ill fate that got you here, or was it your choices, a continuation of bad choices that landed you in the position that you are. And Charles took a little bit of prodding, but once you got beyond the little smile that he had on his face, you was able to see that it was Charles's doing. Yeah, he threw a whole monkey wrench. I told you this story it's a short one, but you're like, what?
Stories. Let me ask you this: what is your relationship like with your kids now?
I have a pretty good relationship with my kids.
Okay, so how did they take the news of finding out that you were gay?
Well, they didn't really say too much about it. But,
so they were fine with it. They're of a different generation, kind of, huh?
They were fine with it, but they just didn't say too much about it.
Okay, and they still treat you like their dad.
Right, yeah.
Okay, how does your ex-wife treat you?
Yeah, we got a good relationship now.
Okay, is she still a beautician?
No, she retired.
Okay, and does she still own a business?
No, she sold business.
How much did you sell it for?
Well, that was her business.
Did he say how much did she sell it for? Yo, the interviewer, he used the word for the FBI or something. Yo, these dudes, he be digging in their pockets. He be digging in their genealogy, everything. Speaking of business, I told y'all I'm trying to get better on this. So bear with me as I play this Yummy Cottage commercial one more time. Like they said, we got to pay some bills around here because YouTube be demonetizing what they call it, all that other stuff. So let me do this and then we'll listen to the rest of Charles' story. All right, we back, and we have a few more minutes. So for those who just joined us, we're going over this video. Shout out to the brother whose challenge this comes from. Street interviews in Atlanta. He goes, he speaks to people who end up on the street. He asks them their story. Very interesting work and needed work that he's doing, right? Because sometimes we like to talk about people in generalities and not go specifically to their position, right? And so he's interviewing Mr. Charles. That's what we're going to call him. He's 64 years old. He moved to Atlanta at 61. He was married for 22 years, has 3 children, had a family, businesses, a wife. And then Mr. Charles hopped the fence, right? And everything went downhill from there. His wife divorced him, and now he's homeless due to a fire on the streets of Atlanta.
So she sold that business. So she's living a well life right now. And you're homeless. Man, how things can change, right? Do you have any advice for any of the brothers out here that are kind of living that way or feeling like, they might be with a woman, but they're really secretly gay? Do you have any advice for them?
The only thing I really can't give people advice.
Well, I mean, just based on your experience, based on what you went through, I feel like sometimes experience is the best teacher.
Yeah, they say experience teaches wisdom if you let it. So, like he's asking him, and he's being very specific, especially, I guess, for being in Atlanta, about this kind of double-mindedness and people not being honest and causing a lot of consternation and a lot of issues and trauma. So he's asking, let's see if he's going to give any jewels to the young youth them who is coming behind them, who may be questioning their own selves. Yeah, he threw his whole family away. It wasn't worth it because look where you're at now, But let's finish it out.
Do you feel like you learned from it?
I learned now. Yeah, it took me a while.
Took a while, right?
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone who was, 30 years old or 40 years old and in that same situation?
Make sure that you get complete change of lifestyle, because it's a complete change of lifestyle.
And so
No, it's a complete change of lifestyle, sir. He should ask him. He should have asked him, was it worth it? You know what I mean? That's what he should have asked him. But let's listen.
Should go ahead and tell their wife and be honest.
I think that must have not been a good choice of word. Be open. That I don't know if I like that choice of words coming from Mr. Charles. But let me stop being petty.
I don't know if it would be a different outcome, but at least
honesty and right, you can always respect that. Right. Let me ask you this: were you doing this type of stuff the whole time during the marriage?
No.
So did this come up later in life? These urges? So you never had these urges when you were younger?
No.
So what do you think? What do you think was the change that made that happen?
I'm still trying to figure that out myself. I don't know what brought me to that.
Do you think it was being in that beauty industry all the time and
all the time, but I wasn't.
He said men's was hitting on. I know another elder. She says men's every time she says that. It makes me laugh. He said men's was hitting on him all the time. Interesting.
Right. But then one guy made you interested.
Yeah. A younger guy. Yeah.
I got too many questions to keep. Let me just keep going.
Wow. Hey man, listen. I appreciate you being so candid. I appreciate you telling your story. You really never know who it may help or who it may inspire. So Charles, man, thank you so much. Black man, I appreciate you. All right, and have a good day. All right. All right.
Charles did the ill. I wipe his, shake his hand and wipe his brow. That wasn't that a crazy story, people?
What's the question?
Oh, hold on.
I guess some people would ask, well, okay, you're in.
That's a wild story, isn't it? That's a wild story. Charles, you did not think that one through. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, the men's. I don't know that this. Yeah, he messed his whole life up. He said he messed his whole life up. Now Charles is on the street smoking a Newport, with a burnt down house. You know, your family, everything. He, according to the story, the dude then I guess scandaled him. I don't know what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? But whatever he did worked, because then you messed your whole family up. And now what about the wife? Where's her mental state? Like after 22 years, she's in here like waiting to exhale, like Angela Bassett's character. After 22 years, this comes. You're doing everything. You're working together. You're building legacy. You're doing all the things that they say that you're supposed to do, right? And this dude pops up doing madness on drugs, methamphetamines, and jumping the fence. Life is strange. Life is strange. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I wanted to share that one. We're going to sprinkle these in because too much of them in a row is just going to be too much. You know what I mean? If you enjoyed yesterday's conversation, I'll do more of that. But TLC Discovery be hating on my little clips that I be using. I don't know how to use it without them hating. We might have to find out. Yo, True Darren, can you stop saying men's? I wish more men's would be honest about it. I'm sorry, because every time I hear the elder, she's from the. I hear her voice when I hear somebody say men's. I don't know why. They end up divorcing, separated, or even homeless. People need to tell the truth. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the men's in them. Yeah, the wife. I would like to interview the wife. Like, bruh, what really happened? Because Charles was only just giving us some sprinklings. He was like, yeah, it was a few incidents, nothing much to talk about. Like, yo, Charles, I got another one, another crazy one that I saw, but I'm gonna come back at another time to talk about that. So with that said, it's been a long day, raining all day, grinding out in the street trying to get these syrups in the local stores. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Um, Hope everybody have a blessed day. Like I said, leave your comments below, and we'll talk again soon. Bless.